I was on the set of The Office, and I was talking to Jenna Fischer, who plays Pam, and she used to be married to James Gunn. And true story, she said, you know, Raine, I was talking to James last night, and I said, James, why don't you ever do anything with that script Super that you wrote some years ago? It was always my favorite script of yours. And he goes, well, I can't think of anyone to play the lead. And she said, what about Raine?
What the fuck is that? Face the wrath of the Crimson Bolt!
You may know James Gunn as the mastermind behind Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and DC's new co-CEO, but he was making waves in the superhero genre since 2010. Well, technically 2000, but we don't talk about the specials.
They're the specials!
He's a special just for me!
I'm black. I think you have vaguely African features.
But his latest film, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, is one of Marvel's best movies in years. But did you know he wrote and directed a superhero movie well before the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
The specials.
Those pants make you look like you don't have any top.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that movie. We're talking about Super, starring Dwight from The Office? Yeah, that's Raine Wilson, and Kevin Bacon as a drug-dealing villain.
A great hero named Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon? Is that a made-up name? Is that a comedy name?
Yeah.
I like working better with Michael Sausage. I don't understand.
Frank Darbo is a depressed and lonely cook who decides to become a vigilante called the Crimson Bolt after his wife Sarah, played by Liv Tyler, leaves him for a drug dealer named Jock. I love how they meet in the opening minutes. Jock just drops in the early hours while Frank's eating breakfast and invites himself in.
Hey, what are you cooking there, pal? Eggs? Sounds pretty good right about now. Do you think maybe I could have a couple of those babies?
Frank uses a pipe wrench as a weapon and brutally attacks various criminals, from drug dealers to people who just cut in line. He is joined by Libby, a comic book store clerk who becomes his sidekick Bolty. Together they plan to rescue Sarah from Jock's clutches. The film is a dark and violent satire of the superhero genre, exploring the consequences of taking the law into your own hands. The movie is one of my favorites, but a lot of people dislike it. A lot of people called out the tone for being all over the place, which it is. Like another one of my favorite movies, Death to Smoochie, they aren't cookie-cutter films. They're a different viewing experience, that's for sure. A lot of people don't like the rape scene. Or scenes, I should say. James Gunn spoke a lot about this in interviews back when the film was coming out in 2010. Like, a lot.
I'd be very happy to have a 5-raper. I'm already quite proud to have a 3-raper. I've never seen another 3-raper before.
I haven't.
So to have a 5-raper, I'd be really pleased.
And I love James Gunn, but he'd be the first one to tell you he's fucking weird. In fact, we all know he temporarily lost his job at Marvel, and this led him to get his foot in the door at DC before being brought back at Marvel for his weird tweets that eventually blew over. And as a fan of the guy, I can even say some of the shit he says in interviews, especially back then, leaves you scratching your head.
I think that's not that it was my intention to make a movie that was fucked up. I think it's the fact that I just made a movie that was me and I'm fucked up.
The scene where Libby rapes Frank is apparently based off a real situation with James Gunn. All I could find is a transcript from this interview, so enjoy this AI voiceover.
Yeah, you're talking about the Libby one. I actually got raped like that one time, and I'm not kidding. That's really true. I got raped by a woman and I wrote a blog about it, and people got very upset, because some people. I shouldn't even be talking about this. My publicist is making faces at me. But I wrote a blog about how I got raped, because when I was first divorced and I was going crazy and hooking up with strippers. And I went back to my house with this woman and I just didn't want to have sex. I shouldn't tell this story, I didn't want to, and I kept telling her no. But she she did force herself, and I ended up having sex with her. It was very different though. It was very much like Frank's rape, because he kind of doesn't want to, but he kind of does. If he was really trying his hardest not to be raped, that would not be a rape scene.
Another scene a lot of people hate is when Libby, who is played by then Ellen Page, who was beloved by fans, was graphically shot in the head in the opening moments of the end battle. I love this scene so much. Simply put, this is the moment when Frank Darbo actually becomes the Crimson Bolt. Even when it's still a joke to Jock, the man he's having the drug deal with, Mr. Range, freaks when he hears the name Crimson Bolt.
Mr. Range, how you doing, man? Everything's fine, totally under control.
What is it?
It's just this joker's running around calling himself the Crimson Bolt.
You calling the goddamn Crimson Bolt on me?
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Come on, it's just this crazy guy. I mean, it's funny. Right, Abe? Yeah.
So good. It's a brutal scene to watch, especially during Libby's death, but it means everything to this story. Bruce Wayne had to lose his parents to actually become Batman. Frank had to lose Libby to become the Crimson Bolt. You can actually just kind of see as it happens. Then the cherry on top is the final exchange between Jock and Frank. Frank isn't trying to find some solution to end a world threat. It's over a girl. It's over simple rules of everyday life. Raine Wilson and Kevin Bacon are just so fun to watch here. It's such an amazing scene.
Don't think you're better than me, you fucking psycho! You fucking almost kill people for butting into line! You don't butt in line! You don't sell drugs! You don't molest little children! You don't profit on the misery of others! The rules were set a long time ago! They don't change!
So if for some reason you haven't seen this movie, check it out. It has a ton of James Gunn stuff you'd see in his movies or TV shows today, but without a filter. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to the channel for more videos on movies and television, and as always, thanks for watching.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Are these some special kind of eggs? Are these those brown kind? I don't know what those are.
No.
Well, they're fucking fantastic. I mean, my God. You, my friend, you have an egg cooking gift. God has graced you with a goddamn egg cooking gift.